Today we're talking about it's not about the money. It's not about the price tag. But yeah, we've been talking a lot about, purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? There's so many courses and so many things out there that teaches you what's the purpose of life. And I find that none of them have helped me. A lot of them is like, oh yeah, you set a goal and you chase it and you just keep chasing it until you get that goal. But nobody really goes in detail on digging on the why. They're so focused on the how and the what.
Yeah.
And so I think I want this video to be focused on why. After learning about the why, that's when the purpose comes in.
Mm-hmm. And you probably won't be able to get to the why if you don't give yourself some solitude time, some emptiness time. Because everyone's telling you what to do, how to do it.
And everybody's judging you, so quick to judge you on, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, and you're like, well, have you heard about my why yet?
Yeah, or, your purpose is stupid. How come you're not chasing this thing that I'm chasing? How come, and everyone's comparing themselves to everyone else, and it's just not healthy. And everyone's chasing money because they believe that money's going to give them the life they want, but they don't even know the life they want.
Exactly.
So how about what our goal is with Cafe Cadenza is, no, we're going to go after what we want, and then money will come along the way. Not that it'll just magically come, but we're trying to just live the dream now. We're not trying to win the lottery and make a bunch of money and then we'll invest. It's no, we're going to invest our time and energy right now into building the world we want for ourselves. And so we give ourselves purpose, and purpose can't be given to you by somebody else. Mm-hmm. That's something you have to decide for yourself. And you might hear somebody else's purpose and it might inspire you, but in the end, that's you who it resonated with, and you decided, yes, this is something I want to do. This is something I believe in. And we can't get caught up in this, oh, well, you need money, so you should just make a bunch of money and then go buy your dream. It's no, this dream, you can't just go to a convenience store and buy it.
No.
You have to build it and create it, and it's going to take problem solving. It's going to take establishing good, honest, authentic relationships with people who see your vision and believe in it. And another thing I want to incorporate in Cafe Cadenza is this big dream that we have is intended to include other people's dreams. Mm-hmm. That's what I want for people. My dream is to see everyone else's dreams also come true. We were talking earlier about this, the difference between purpose and goals, and I think a lot of people mistake them.
Yeah.
So I have this goal, I want to achieve this thing. That's not necessarily your purpose, because then once that's done, then what?
And then. This is part of our And Then series.
So I find a really good purpose for you is something that keeps you moving even after you accomplish things, or keeps you moving even after you fail at things. Mm-hmm. Right? A purpose, because if you're like, oh, screw this didn't work, then I think your purpose needs to be adjusted. Because if you give up on it at the first failure, then it wasn't really a strong enough purpose for you. But that's what's kept me going, because I've been, even before meeting Minnie, it was this intentional community idea has been on my mind my whole life. No matter all the struggles I've been through, even if I couldn't be actively participating in building that purpose, at the very least my mind and my heart were still moving in that direction, and I'm still looking for a way of, okay, when I just need to find that opening, I need to figure out how I can make this happen, and no matter what obstacles in my way, I'm gonna keep pursuing that dream. And I think that, it doesn't mean I don't have moments of depression and self-doubt, but I think what moves me through that self-doubt is is that purpose, that thing that keeps me out of depression enough where I don't sink into depression so to the point where I just give up on myself. There's still that point where I'm like, okay, you still have this dream that's is waiting for you to reach out. You just have to do it. So, and sometimes I find that, you know, I'm kind of equating it to, now I haven't had children myself, but I'm imagining that when you have a child or children, that they kind of become your purpose and you'll do anything and everything for them. So even when you're struggling as a parent, there's still that drive within you that says, okay, you need to pull yourself up because these kids are depending on you. And so I kind of am equating like your purpose as kind of another child, but more of in an abstract sense. So treat it like that child. Treat it like you're never going to give up on that purpose. You're never going to, you might make mistakes. You might not be the best parent, but you're trying your best. You're working towards giving that kid the best life you can. That's what the midlife crisis is they accomplished all the things that they were told. This is your goal. Get a career, get a wife, get some children, build up some...
You know what that sounds like?
What?
You know the board game Game of Life?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you have to go do this, you have to do this. Great, you're at the end, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
and then...
And then, yeah, what happens when you retire? Is that the end of your life?
Yeah.
It's just a different phase. Like, the idea of retirement to me is also kind of ridiculous.
And then at a young age, I was like, why? Of course, back then I didn't know where money comes from. I'm just like, why? You know?
Yeah.
But even after I find out where money comes from, it's like, still, like, why? Why are we arguing about money? Why is it that important that it needs to separate human relationship? And I think people goes to money because they find that it's a easier goal. We'll put that as goal. It's easier to achieve.
I find it ironic, that cliche of money doesn't buy happiness, yet everyone's conditioned to follow the money.
Because
And they're
I feel
chasing
like
it.
they don't know what else to do.
I know, but it's just like it's right there. It's money won't buy you happiness, so you now have to figure out your own happiness. And perhaps maybe you're right.
Because they don't know
People
what...
don't want to take the time to figure out what makes them happy.
Exactly.
So they're just, I'll just find money. But it's like, you know that's not really going to lead you to happiness. It'll bring you temporary satisfaction. It'll bring you temporary high. And then what happens after you buy that shiny new thing?
And then...
And exactly. The quality of life comes more from your being, and then being around others who are also just in a state of being and they accept you for who you are. Maybe that's it too. Maybe just we shouldn't be chasing happiness. We need to be seeking acceptance or contentment. Like, accept yourself. Be content with what you have.
That's like when you ask, well, what makes you happy? I'm like, authentic relationships, good conversations makes me happy. But because they're so rare these days, or people just don't know how to start these days, they, instead of chasing that, they go the really easy route towards money. It's not that we need each other. It's just greater with a collective and community. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that you can't be happy on your own, but things are just so much better when you're with other people.
I would even say that to start, you need to build that authentic relationship with yourself. Because if you don't have that, you can't build authentic relationships with other people.
Yeah.
And I feel like for myself, I've always just tried to be me. I don't think I'd be happy with myself if I ever tried to be something I wasn't. Anytime I've ever practiced that, you know, that fake it till you make it culture, you know, I tried it. You try saying those words, you know, where you just, those affirmations that are not there, but if you just say it enough times, it'll come true. And I'm just like, I couldn't do it with authenticity. It just felt off. And So I honored myself in that respect. I couldn't go with that, even if it is the thing that brings other people what they call happiness. I'm kind of doubting that those people are truly happy. I think it is important to be real.
Yes.
You know, acknowledge your situation, acknowledge where you're at, and it may not be pleasant, but at least you're being honest, and then you can move through that. Whereas right now it's like our culture, especially like just pointing out that we're right now in 2023, this is worse than the Great Depression, at least here in Canada. But we're all delusional into thinking like we're at the pinnacle of human civilization. It just feels so fake. Everything is fake, you know, fake politicians, fake businesses, and fake money.
IG profile that shows like people are so happy.
Yeah. I'd rather have one authentic relationship over like 10,000 IG followers. So
for sure.
Because then I'm just content with myself, and then no matter what happens in my life, I'm like, well, I know I'm me, and that part. If you're ever to be true to something, it's just be true to yourself.
To yourself, yeah. Exactly. I think that's the key to happiness. And then even the Tao says like when you have no desire, that's where the happiness is, right? That's where the truth comes out. And people are like, oh, you can't do that. At least you need food, you need like things, right? But those are not desire. Desires is, I think, people think desires are needs, but yes, you have your needs, but then desire is just anything that's luxury on top of that.
Yeah.
Right. People can be very simple, and I think we need to go back to the simplicity of things.
Mm-hmm.
Simplicity.
Yeah.
Not SimCity.
I like observing animals, and I envy them. I envy them so much because they just look so purely content with life.
Yeah.
You know, I'll walk outside, go to my truck or whatever, and on the way there's this cat Buttons that's always hanging around, and he's just laying around, just
doing nothing.
Doing nothing. And he just looks up, oh hey, and then just continues taking a big nap. And then sometimes he's out there like hiding behind the bush and pouncing and just practicing being a cat. And then I look at the squirrels, and they're playing with each other, chasing each other up the tree and just running along the fence. And that's happiness for them.
Yeah.
Running, that's it.
And
they're
like my animals at home, like all they want is your companionship. Because I realized no matter how much toys I buy for them or like how much toys I make for them, they don't touch them. They just want to be around me and get my attention.
Yeah.
And maybe occasionally, Monty will want a peanut. Actually, every time you ask him what he wants, it's a peanut. But peanut can mean 10 different things like food, because he needs that. And then a lot of times it's just they just want your attention.
Yeah.
Right? So as soon as you pay attention for them, they have the biggest smile and they have the cutest like, oh, I love you, and that's it. It's that simple. It's kind of like Cafe Cadenza, your 3 things. Be honest about what you don't want. Be humble on you don't know everything in life. Sometimes you stumble on that purpose at your lowest points of life, like I did, or you kind of just humbly listen to other people's purpose, and then you'll be like, yeah, that kind of I like that, and then just really be courageous about it and explore.
Yeah, well, I think the humble part as well is kind of a mindset. Like, we joke about this, like, she's the empress and I'm a peasant.
Yeah.
And because I'm a peasant, like, with that mindset, I am content with less. Being humble enough to be like, yeah, okay. And I think that's what I've learned in my life is when I don't have much, you just appreciate those things you do have, and then whenever you get something extra, it's just more, but I'm not chasing the extra because I'm like, well, I'm already good here. I don't need more.
Oh, yeah, you could go out and explore. Don't be courageous and explore to find that real purpose. Sometimes it's what you want as a kid. Those essay that teacher makes you do, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Mm-hmm. Go back to that simplicity and be like, some kids like, I want to be a doctor to help people. You know, very simple. And then it's life that made it complicated on why we can't do these things, or puts a lot of limitation on things that you want to do. But if you go back to that very simple, innocent you and see what you actually did want when you were a kid, maybe you'll be able to find some answer there as well.
And allow ourselves to explore, because, you know, one day, just like kids too, one day they want to be a doctor and the next day they want to be a firefighter. You know, but get to the essence of why you want to do or be that thing.
And that's why that why is so important too.
We keep valuing ourselves based on the things we do and how smart we are and our social status.
What do we know? Yeah.
Like all these external things, but like really our value comes from our heart, like who you are at your core. And that's something no one can ever take from you unless you give it away. That's what it means. Like when you sell your soul, you're actually giving up that part of you that you shouldn't have given up. You know, because you can take all the things away. You can, let's say I'm a skilled artist and my arm gets chopped off. Does that mean I'm nobody anymore? No, I'm still me. And I may not be able to do the things I can do. That doesn't change who I am. It doesn't make me less valuable. It just means I gotta have to adapt to having one less arm. So I think that, just getting back to that purity, that pure heart, that little child inside you that's gonna tell you or guide you to your purpose. And be okay with that purpose might change. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're on a path of discovery. So it's okay if you don't have a purpose right now. But take the time to explore, to play, have fun, and see what really excites you in life, and where you're gonna feel the most content. I guess we can ask the audience, maybe tell us your purpose, if you have one, right?
Or what's preventing you from finding your purpose right now?
Yeah.
Can Cafe Cadenza help in any way?
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not all about the money.
Yeah, just
'Cause it's not.
money aside, just what is your purpose? Don't think of limitations.
Or share with us what was your childhood dream, and then analyze that kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you. And
choose love, not fear.